Hi everyone, this is Everett, but you may know me better as Evro or Cool Evro online, depending on how you found my content. I know my platform is very small, but I have a very dedicated viewer base that always comes back to watch my videos, and for that I'm very grateful, and I do believe that you all are deserving on an update on my personal health. So on September 14th, 2024, I was at work and I was moving some furniture around, and normally that's a very routine task. I do it pretty much every day. This time around things were different. I moved about one table and some chairs, and I started feeling very winded, and my left arm started swelling up pretty bad. The whole thing was pink, and it was like double the size that it normally is, and that's very concerning. So that day I went home early, I visited the doctor, I went to urgent care, and there they said it was most likely a blood clot in my left arm, so they sent me to the ER. So over at the ER, they took some sonograms of my arm, and they found, there were blood clots in there. There were 4 large veins that had all clotted up. They call it deep vein thrombosis, or DVT. And then from there, they took a CT scan of my chest because they wanted to make sure, did this originate in my arm or was it something in my chest? And as it turns out, it was. So those CT scans revealed I had a large mass that was pressing up against my left lung and my heart. Now, at this point, you hear there's a large mass in your chest. Your mind starts blasting through ideas of what it could be. That was honestly the most terrifying news I have ever received in my life. So, initially, you're thinking, oh my gosh, what is this? Do I have heart cancer? Do I have lung cancer? It could be anything. Is it benign? Is it gonna kill me? How long has it been there? And I'm in full panic mode, basically, at this point. And so they transfer me over to a different hospital where they have more specialists who can get a sample of this thing and diagnose exactly what it is. So I was transferred over there that same night that I visited, and then after a couple of days where they kind of assembled the dream team, basically, of surgeons who could take this sample out of me and then diagnose exactly what it is, I went into the operating room, and they got the sample. And it turns out, as a response to this giant mass in my chest, my body produced a tons of fluid and put it where it's not really supposed to go. So my left lung was filled with fluid, and the sac around my heart was filled with fluid, so they installed some drains and got those out of there. They collected, in total, over 6 liters of fluid out of my body. 2 liters when they initially installed those drains in the operating room, and then 4 more over the course of about a week or so when those were just draining out of me. Eventually, those were removed, and now my left lung is totally dry and my heart is totally dry, which definitely helps. They took x-rays, and that revealed my left lung was down to like less than a quarter of its normal capacity. So being out of breath while I was at work makes a lot more sense now. About 10 days after they removed the sample, they came back with a specific diagnosis of what I had. Now, it kind of makes sense that it took so long because there's so much that it could be, and it's hard work trying to decipher exactly what that would be. But anyways, my specific diagnosis is primary mediastinal diffuse large B-cell lymphoma. In other words, I have cancer. Now, the good news about this diagnosis is lymphomas are some of the easiest cancers to treat. They are extremely receptive to chemotherapy. And so with the treatment that I'm on, the intent is to cure it. So they're not just looking to shrink it or manage it or do anything like that. They're looking to completely eradicate this tumor from my body, which is great news. And as it turns out, my body is already responding very positively to treatment. So I've not only healed up very quickly after the surgery, but also I've remained, rather strong and vital through my first round of chemotherapy, although I do know that over time, the side effects that I get from the treatment will kind of rack up. So I'm expected to feel some fatigue, nausea, aches and pains, things like that as my treatment goes on. And yes, I will lose my hair. So, what are you gonna do? But honestly, out of anything that I could have been hospitalized for, this isn't so bad. Out of all the cancers that it could have been, I'm very grateful that this is one that's extremely receptive to treatment. It could have been a lot worse. And honestly, even if it wasn't cancer, if it was a benign tumor, the surgery to remove such a large mass from my chest would have lasted like over a dozen hours. And honestly, my recovery from that would have possibly been even longer. So, I mean, that's good news, I guess. But yeah, essentially that's the news. I'm still looking to keep my creativity up as I'm undergoing treatments, even if that might be a little bit tougher as I deal with fatigue and nausea and what have you. But I'm looking to continue the musical journey that I've been on for the past 11 years of my life. I really have no intention of stopping, and I think, honestly, I could still come up with some pretty awesome tracks, even if there's a cancerous tumor in my body. I guess before I end this video, huge shoutouts to Hank Green of Crash Course fame. Last year he was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, and even though his diagnosis is different from mine, all the videos that he made about his experiences with having cancer and receiving treatment have just been like a huge help to me. I already relate to them quite a bit. Just nice to see somebody who so thoroughly documented his experience with that. So Hank Green, if you're currently watching this, which I don't know, maybe there's a chance you are, thanks for making all the videos about your experience. They've already been a huge help. So at this point you might be thinking, you know, how can I help to support you while you're undergoing these treatments? Well, you know, just keep tuning into my content, keep leaving awesome comments when I post new stuff, share my music with like all the people that you know, that would be pretty cool. And if you feel so inclined, then, you know, fan art of my funny little characters that I draw would be super awesome to see. You could send those to me at CoolEvro on Twitter. No pressure though, but that would be really awesome to see. And yeah, you know, just there's the news. So thank you for watching. Stay cool. Be nice to yourself. Be nice to each other, because really that's all that we can do to make our lives easier, right?